Okay, we have the new um, headset with the microphone. Let's see if this works better for you. Lesson 6.4 in your Algebra 1 class is to solve compound inequalities. And a compound inequality consists of two separate inequalities connected by and or. Okay, so it might be x is greater than 2 and x is less than 7. Okay, or it might be x is less than -1 or x is greater than or equal to 5. Ands usually overlap, ors usually do not. That's usually. Okay. The graph of a compound inequality with and is the intersection or overlap of the graphs of the two inequalities. So if we have x is greater than -3, that would go from -3 and bigger numbers. Less than 5 would be from 5 and left. So they overlap from -3 to +5. And that's the only numbers that are true for both. Now what's nice about the ands, if they form a barbell, okay, so we got the weight at this end and the weight at the right end, and the barbell shows all the numbers you can use. You can write it with a single variable. X is stuck between -3 and 5. We still read it that x is greater than -3 and less than 5. So that and tells you x is used in two places. Okay, so it can be written that way for an and. Ors cannot be written with a single variable. It is impossible for x to be greater than 6 and less than -1 at the same time. Okay, with ors, it's one or the other, or maybe both. It's the union. Okay, so if we're less than -1, that's left of -1, and this has the or equal. And it also says x is greater than 6. So you can pick a number greater than 6, 6.2, 7, 21, or you can pick a number less than or equal to -1, -5, whatever. And or inequalities cannot be written as a single inequality, except on very rare occasions. So most of the time, you would have to write both of these with the word or in it, and it graphs as going in opposite directions. Okay, so we're going to have to do some verbal phrases. All real numbers, you can think of that as being your variables. Okay, all real numbers that are less than -1, or, it doesn't say it, but you can think that subject again, putting some English in your algebra. All real numbers greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so when it's a compound sentence, sometimes you got to think of that subject, your variable, whatever. So you got numbers, x's, that are less than -1 or x is greater than or equal to 4. So when we graph this, here's my 4, here's my -1, less than -1, greater than or equal to 4. Here's another verbal phrase. All real numbers, x, that are greater than or equal to -2 and less than 4. So in other words, x is sandwiched between 4 and -2, and it includes the -2. So that's why we have the or equal. Notice that it's x is greater than -2 can be written the opposite direction. So since x is greater than -2, it's going to go to the right, and less than 4 means to the left. That's an overlap. The and means overlap. It looks like a barbell. So you can write it either with the word and, or you can write it as a single inequality with x is sandwiched between the two. Okay? The average large suitcase weighs 7 pounds. Airlines typically charge their base price for checked baggage as long as the weight does not exceed 50 pounds. So when you write a compound inequality for this, what is their weights that we're talking about? Well, the weight is almost always 7 pounds. And then as long as the weight does not exceed, so the weight has to be less than or equal to 50 pounds. Okay, now some people will say, well, what if I have a light suitcase? Some people are going to put 0 here. So the weight of your baggage is going to be from 0 to 50 pounds. Now, we cannot include 0 because if you're not sending any suitcase, they do not charge you. So it has to be more than 0 pounds. So this one would be greater than 0. So when you graph this, you're going from 0 up to and including 50 pounds. Okay. When you solve a compound inequality with or, you split it into the two parts. You would solve the 3x plus 2 is greater than 14, and you would solve the x minus 3 is less than negative 5 separately. So here we would subtract the 2 from both sides and divide by 3. Here we would add 3 to both sides, and there's no dividing to do. So on this one, x is greater than 4 or less than negative 2. Ready? To solve with and. Okay, there's a couple ways to do this. We could go negative 4 less than or equal to 2x minus 1, and 2x minus 1 is less than 7. So here we would add 1 to both sides and divide out our 2. Here we would add 1 to both sides and divide out the 2. Since it's not negative, you do not switch it. Okay, you only switch the direction of your inequality when you multiply or divide by a negative. Now we can put it back together. Okay, so when we graph it, our x's are sandwiched between 4 and negative 3 halves. The first one includes the or equal, the other one does not. That's what our inequality would look like graphed. Okay. We're going to stick with this for the example. There's some ways to do this with fewer steps, but it's more complicated. I want you to understand as well. Okay, so again, when we solve this, we're going to split them. Okay, now I could switch the 2x plus 5 to the left, but since we want to put x back together in the middle, we're going to leave it on the right. So I'm subtracting 5 from both sides, dividing both sides by a positive 2. And here I will do the same. I'll subtract 5 from both sides and divide by the positive 2. So my negative 4 and 2 are my limits. X is stuck between negative 4 and positive 2. There's no or equals, so I leave my ends open. The or has to be split. When I add 4 to both sides on this, divide out my 3, n is greater than 3. Here, when I subtract 3 from both sides and divide by a positive 4, I have choices of numbers greater than 3 or less than -1. And that's the way you'd have to write that inequality. There's the graph for it. They're both done. Okay. Swimming pool. Public swimming pool can be open as long as the water in the pool is between 72 and 84 inclusive. Inclusive means it can equal that. So 72 is the coldest and 84 is the warmest. If it gets too warm, it cooks too many germs, it's too cold, swimmers can suffer from the cold. Okay, we want to put these into Celsius. So to find the temperature, what we need to do is to remember that these are Fahrenheit and put them into Celsius. Okay, I think I found a mistake on my problem here. Alrighty. The problem is this should have been 5/9, not 9/5. And that's going to affect everything else. So let me erase this. And this. Okay, we're going to try this again. Okay, so since the temperatures have to be between 72 and 84 inclusive, I've got this so far, but I want to get a Celsius temp. So what I have to do is switch the 72 and the 84 both to Celsius. So I would take 5/9 times my temperature after I subtract the 32. That 32 is the freezing point. It's 0 in Celsius, but it's 32 in Fahrenheit. Okay, so 5/9 times 40. I think I did that. We got 22 point something. Yeah, 22.2. That'll be a Celsius temperature. And then I have to do the same thing for the 84. So 5/9, 84 minus 32 would be 5/9 times 52. And that's 28.8. 28.9 actually, 888. So the range of temperatures in Celsius is going to be from 22.2 to 28.9 degrees Celsius. Okay, there we go. Sorry about my typo. I'll have to go back and change that. There's the notes for lesson 6.4. Hopefully you understand those compound inequalities. Anytime you have two inequalities for the same problem, it's a compound, whether it's called and or.